Hey, man, so I'm really glad to be talking to DK Revelle here on the Marr Rock Show tonight because, DK, we haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing, bud?
Good, man. You know what it does? It's almost been a year now, huh?
God, it really seems. I didn't realize it was quite that long. So, you are one busy guy, man. So, first thing I want to ask you about is the Beautifully Demolished EP that came out in February, I guess. Tell us a little bit about the recording of that album, and let folks know a little bit about who you guys are.
All right, last year, actually, about this time, I had released 3 tunes, which was kind of just, setting it up for the future of TBD, and it was songs like, Beautifully Demolished, Rock Scars, and Heart Tattoo, and, that was kind of the prequel to the EP that we recently finished, and, I got with the new label with Demon Doll Records up there in Hollywood. Just got done recording it. I went and just decided, at the risk of just saving time and saving money, a lot of them out there don't know that I actually write everything and have recorded everything myself in the past. I find that I just move quicker that way, and it's not like I wouldn't love to find some people to share my vision. It's just really hard, man. It really is, and I'm a real picky little bastard, so it's got to be, it's got to have that sound and that stank that is the Beautifully Demolished. So, at the risk of it not taking so long, I went in, I knocked out 3 more, which are available right now. You can get them at demondollrecords.com, or you can go ahead and just head over to the Beautifully Demolished Facebook, at Facebook, /The Beautifully Demolished. Things have just been moving, it's kind of exciting. Things have, this literally just happened in February, so we're just pushing in that record, and I had a good time going in and making it, tried some new tricks this time around, but for the most part, trying to keep it just rock and roll, not too much, not too many bells and whistles on there, but a lot of fun. And I think people who appreciate the sounds of bands such as like Motley Crue, Cheap Trick, AC/DC, the vintage stuff, which is straight up throw on at one of your parties and have a good time. You're really going to be enjoying this style, and especially this EP. So, and I would love to hear feedback as well. So you can also hit me at another Facebook, which is simply DK Demolished, and that's my new artist page. So yeah, stop in there, like it, leave me a comment, and keep in touch. I like to be as hands-on as I can with my fans and just about anybody interested in my music. So that's what I've been doing lately.
That is so true, and for fans listening to this, man, DK is a guy, if you're going to hit him stuff on Facebook, he's a guy that responds and talks to the fans, and you've been really great with that, and I've witnessed it firsthand when I saw you play live. Has that been something that's always been kind of trademark for you? Has it been like a relationship with fans?
You know what, yeah, because ever since I was small, and, went and stood in line, ditched school, whatever I had to do to go see my favorite artists, and later in life, I had graduated high school. I, had the stars in my eyes, the whole dream. Graduated early, lived in the car, moved to Hollywood. That's where you kind of find out if it's a sink or swim situation with you. And I'm not very good at a lot of things in life, but I've found that I really excel in writing, music, and getting along with people. And I know with it's kind of the do unto others as you have done unto you kind of life in the music business. It's such a long shot that, it's as well as it's tough because now with this market and the internet, it's wow, anybody can have a band. So it's it's really about getting out there in that dogfight and trying to be heard. And I tell you, one thing about that I've appreciated throughout all my relationships that I've met is genuine people, man, and they're really hard to find. So, I do my best to just kind of keep it real.
Now, speaking of the kind of people you tour, so when you're going to go out and do a tour, how do you, knowing all that, knowing how you are, how do you pick a band that's going to tour with you? Because if you're producing and writing all this music, is there an interview process or is it an audition process? How does that work?
Basically, yeah, there's got to be, of course, I'd rather, it's trying to just get it down to be as simple as possible, because you get you get all kinds that will come out of the woodwork, thinking that there's, that it's going to be an easy thing, and doesn't touring sound like fun and all that? It's a lot of work and a lot of headaches and a lot of BS, and so finding those kind of like-minded people who are in it, who can take those lumps with you and not fall apart. And it's just been really tough. And I'm still on the lookout. I got a lot of good prospects, and so I'm still looking to staff a lineup that's got what I'm looking for. I like to make it an event that I'm a part of, or this beautifully demolished monster that I've got going. I want it to be reminiscent of those good times and those concerts that we used to go to. Where they're a little bombastic, and it was that arena rock anthem, and it was, I'm risking to just go out there and do something a little bit different. Years ago I decided, you can't please everybody, so settle into one thing and just go for it. And mine has always been rock and roll. I mean, I've dabbled in, all the styles that have come and gone, from the grunge to the Marilyn Mansons, if you will, and that electronic effect, all that stuff that has came and gone. I never gravitated towards that. I was always just, guitar, drums, bass, and vocals, and boom. I was always really interested in writing songs rather than having a bunch of samples or whatnot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, man, and you're a great front man, and I love you as a lead vocalist and a front guy. And our first exposure to you was back during the Jet Boy gig, and then when your stuff came out, we were just thrilled to see it. And when you were writing this album, so we got the treat of seeing a lot of these songs live. Did any of the songs change as you were playing them live? So when we first heard them from that time to the studio?
I've made I have made some changes along the way of songs that were being performed that night that were live that they're a little different. And I've also, when I was doing the kind of rounding home base, so to speak, in the studio, boy, I've just had so many ideas. And what's, the thing that when you go and record, for those of you who go and record your records or your songs or whatever, we're never really completely happy with it when we leave. There's always something more we could have done. So, that in itself, the home stretch, I literally wrote a song 2 days before and changed my mind and was like, boom, I got to have this on the record. I'd hate for it because, in my mind it would be like, okay, we got to go through this process of putting the record out. And then, I've already heard it a million times, so I'm already on to the next one, So I'm thinking, I've actually went ahead and put that ahead of the EP coming out, knowing that, man, I've got a couple of songs sitting right here that I'm going to wish I did. So I put got to put the best foot forward. It's a song called Apocalyptic Paradise that made the end of the EP, and it's really cool. Have you heard any of the new songs yet?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what a great segue. I was going to ask you about that, too. I wrote down that actually, believe it or not, it's right here in front of me. My favorite song on the album is Apocalyptic Paradise. So,
no way.
Cool.
That's literally at the end of it, it was like, all right, because when I went and did all the guitar and all the bass and everything on here, and Jackie Ramos from Hurricane Alex is the one who drummed the first three songs, and then I had another friend of mine goes by the name Joe LaPiccolo, great drummer, who came in, and that's basically all I needed. I had the vision and everything written down. So when I went in there, boom, I moved pretty quick. I did everything from the background vocals. It's a whole experience, and there's musicians that just dread studio, because I can see, if you're not into it, how that can, not be your thing. I live in the studio. I love it. Boy, that's on my bucket list, to have a nice big studio before I die. And I'd love to work with other bands. That's my future is in, not just performing, but, writing, producing and, working with other musicians. That's my dream.
Now, I follow you out there on Facebook, and you're always playing shows with a project called Pirate Radio out there. Tell me a little bit about Pirate Radio too. It looks like another project you're doing out there.
Yeah, it's pretty much a job I invented so I didn't have to get a real job. I had lived in L.A. Long story short, God, it's a long story. It'll be in my book later. But right out of high school, I moved to Hollywood. You move with that handful of guys that you're going to go chase that dream, and then they drop like flies, and then pretty soon I'm by myself. I've, met anybody probably worth meeting, and I'm talking this is 91 to, 2000. And then I had moved to the East Coast, out your guys' way at one time, which was around 2001. I was working with a band called Feels Like Fiction, working with Bill Coyne, with Kiss. He did Kiss back in the day, and more recently than that, he was doing Billy Idol. you know, worked out there, recorded some music, you know, just didn't work out. It wasn't, you know, just wasn't working out. So, you know, when, you know, at the risk of going back to Hollywood on the reel to the psycho ex-girlfriend, you know, it was like, I'm going to come back to Central California and I'm going to write a batch of songs and I'm going to go for it, you know, one more time. And I needed to create a job for myself. And, you know, and I was that dude years in front of that going, I will never in a million years play cover music. Never, never, never. You know, and that's pretty much most of the bands you see these days are cover or tribute band, and bless their heart because it's a good time. And I decided I'm going to form a band, Pirate Radio, and instead of doing just all the old, you know, the same old Skinners and this and that, I went and did all the party rock songs that we all grew up on. So we do all the Kiss, AC/DC, Motley Crue, and you know, we also do, you know, all the old classics that just basically work to death in the bar. And, well, you kind of got a taste of how I run my ship, and it's just one big party. It's one big party every Friday night. And not to mention I have the freedom to go at any time, anywhere in my life. And that comes with a good family.
Yeah, man, and we love seeing you live. I wish we had the opportunity to see you more often. You got any plans to come back east anytime soon?
Well, man, if you ask me, I got plans to play on the moon, bro. So, I hope to see everybody at some point, and, you know, it's only gonna surface as time rolls on. At this point, it's looking like early summer. I've got a lot of good prospects. You know, it's just about really settling in, and I have to really go with a, you know, fine-tooth comb through everybody's personalities and whatnot, because sure, everybody wants to play in that band until it's actually time to leave, and you got to be able to leave your job. You got to be able to have, you know, if you do have kids or a wife or whatever, you got to be able to have that space. And I'm looking for those people that have already got that space available, like I have. I've kind of designed my life to be able to do that, you know, and the relationships that I make with people to be able to, you know, you got to go do that stuff, because I've been let down 100 times by not being able. You know, I've been in positions where it's like, oh, you know, important guy in the band can't make it, or, you know, there was a year of, you know, hard work down the drain kind of thing. So I'm really putting that on the front line. You know, anybody who's interested, I'm accepting all bios, pics, any kind of links. YouTube, you can hit me right there on that Facebook, which is, you know, facebook.com/DK Demolished. Or you can do the Beautifully Demolished at the Facebook as well. And
hey,
yep.
Yeah, man, for folks listening, when they check that out, get out there and check out the Beautifully Demolished EP. First time we saw DK, first time we met him, super cool guy, super fan-friendly guy, and putting out some really cool music on the Beautifully Demolished EP. DK, man, thank you so much for being with us on the radio show tonight.
Dude, it's my pleasure, man. I hope to see you all in the near future.
Thanks, man. You too. And you have a great night, and thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
All right, you got it.
Take care, buddy.
You got it.